Hi everybody, it's Dispeller. I'm here to do day 25 of our book. This is called Rebirth. And the book is called How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days, a day-by-day guide to saying goodbye and getting on with your life. So, I hope everybody's doing well and staying warm on this freezing day. At least here it's freezing. It's Illinois, and I'm not even sure what the temperature is, but it's cold. So I'm just staying in, hanging out, chilling. It's Sabbath day, Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. That means peace of the Sabbath to you and yours. And I am just relaxing today. So I'm going to start reading the book, chapter, the day, which is day 25. Can you believe it? 30 days, and we're already on day 25, and I haven't even done it every day. It went really fast, really fast. And then I get to decide what book I'm going to do next. I was going to do The Language of Letting Go again, but I cannot find my book. And then I thought about boundaries as another really good one, because I think a lot of people online especially need boundaries. Ooh, 28 degrees there. Wow. Yeah, that's cold. That's very cold. Okay. And by the way, anybody that's new, please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you find it of value to you. Pass it on to your friends through the method of sharing. Also hit the thumb up, which is the like button. Like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you don't miss any future uploads. And on that note, we're going to begin reading Rebirth. New feelings. Remember the longing you used to feel for your ex? Perhaps it felt like a knot in your gut in the days immediately after you first broke up. Think of that feeling right now, right at this very moment. Can you make yourself feel that same intense feeling of loss? Come on, try hard. Perhaps you can do it. It's gone, isn't it? And that fact carries a very big lesson. The love you thought you had lost at that time, the romance that seemed so critical to your happiness, and also the friendship that you lost that you thought you couldn't live without, was perhaps delusory and was certainly dispensable. As we suggested at the beginning of this book, dropping your delusions can be almost as tough as kicking an addiction. Very true. It feels like an addiction, too. For many of you, it probably was, but if you made it this far, you now have more freedom to make choices you truly want for your new future. One dilemma you need to face is potential confusion about the many levels of what new really means. Some psychotherapists believe that people build all of their emotions out of nothing more complicated than various mixtures of pleasure and pain. They believe that by as early as age 6, we will have created the full palette of colors for all of the emotions we experience for the rest of our lives. So your key to feeling new peace may be found in relearning earlier, more innocent ways of experiencing your world. The ability to do so will help you recover something wonderful about you and your nature. There's one big reason for your success to date. It's your willingness to face the truth about how you really felt about yourself when you were with your ex. In going through this sometimes disturbing process, you have gained a new freedom to share your love for yourself and for others in the ways that you've always wanted. An important component for being able to love another in a truly healthy way is learning how to love who you really are. If you don't, perhaps you now see that you will connect with others for basically the wrong reasons. You'll depend on them for approval and self-assurance because you're unable to see the true beauty and innocence. I don't know what's going on with my voice. And innocence that is built into your nature. In short, you'll stop employing more childlike, loving ways of experiencing yourself and your world and finding your own creative joy in them. But you've already stopped banging your head against that wall. You don't need to do it again. Your fresh combination of new and original feelings will provide you with a personal rebirth. After you've thoroughly explored the bedrock of your emotions, you'll be ready to step up to a higher kind of experience. Hey, good afternoon, Susie. As long as you can recover your sense of innocence, you will be dumbstruck with joyous wonder at the richness of pure feeling. And as a consequence, your view of the world will be vastly enriched and extended. Look around you. Can you sense the fresh possibilities? Prepare yourself. Old feelings may rush into your heart like a soft breath of magic. Feel the possibilities of all these once again new, long forgotten feelings. The more you're willing to embrace them, the more possibilities you'll have to create a richer, more rewarding new life. Welcome home to that wonderful child you were hiding inside. Grieving, God, and giving. The end of your relationship has caused you pain. Naturally, you want your pain to stop. So you try ignoring it, putting it away, acting as though it doesn't trouble you. Some people are better at this trick than others. Don't think of them as lucky. Think of them as human time bombs ticking away with fast rising internal pressures that their repressed feelings have inflamed. Many of us live on a psychic knife edge. If we can use our willpower to stop acting self-destructively, that's good. But if we try to control the feelings that inspire those actions, it can lead to all kinds of problems. In more extreme cases, we see obsessive compulsive disorders. Some people who foster this illusory self-control wind up as addicts to substances and other things. So you can't stop grieving your loss by just pushing it down, but how can you cope to deal with your pain? The many 12-step programs modeled on Alcoholics Anonymous have consistently adopted a method that seems to work for a high percentage of those who employ it. Usually, these sufferers are not ready to adopt this method until they have hit bottom. That is, until they've arrived at a final stage of despair that leads them to realize they are unable to control their behavior, but desperate to find a solution to the problems they've caused themselves. At this point, those who turn to an organization like AA are told they must consistently acknowledge that they are powerless before their enemy, alcohol, impulses, drugs, etc., and then they must take the one step critical to effecting their cure. They must put their fate in the hands of a higher power, or God, or Yahweh, or whatever you call him. None of these organizations demand that atheists or agnostics suddenly find faith, or worse yet, attempt to simulate a religious awakening. They simply suggest that people like these look within themselves and recognize that beyond their egos, their I'm me sense, all of them, have an intuitive sense of a larger entity. Call it ourself or simply a higher power. Again, this is the author's ideas, not mine. Disclaimer. There is a God. His name is Yahweh. He lives in heaven, but he also controls everything that people allow him to down on earth, and some stuff they don't allow him to. Names matter less than the act of surrendering yourself to assistance of this agency. See, that's one reason I did not do well in Codependence Anonymous. I don't go for this whole, well, whatever God is to you, now I just said that whatever you call him. I don't mean that people can make up the Cheeto God. I'm looking at the Cheeto box here. They can call him Mr. Cheeto or King Cheeto. No, there's one God. His name is Yahweh, period. Whether you believe it or not, that is how it is. And he is the only one, in my belief, that will help you, period. What does this suggest for you? If we follow a parallel form of logic, we could say that you are powerless before the enemy of your addiction to memories of a person. Perhaps you have reached your own bottom, despairing at the pain and loss of this person in that your life has caused. So, if so, try putting your care in the hands of God, Yahweh. Do you need a place to effect your surrender to your own God? Why not do it in a house of worship? People of all denominations can find the peace and contemplative solitude they need to perform such an act by going to any church, chapel, synagogue, or temple that leaves its door open to the public when a service is not being conducted. Larger hospitals usually provide a full-time facility, often featuring a non-denominational design. The spiritual aura of these places can help to focus the minds of those who need to give themselves up for a change. Now, obviously, nowadays, hospitals are not opening their doors to just anybody that wants to walk in due to the virus. Just letting you know that. Of course, you probably knew. If a house of worship isn't your scene, try giving yourself to others. You might start by spending a little time with a lonely young child. His or her simple way of approaching life can refresh your sense of your own latent innocence and purity. Or offer your help to others who suffer, the homeless, the destitute, the physically afflicted. Serve as a volunteer. Don't be afraid of the pain of compassion. By giving of yourself unselfishly to others in true need, you may find that you can also ameliorate your pain. That is the end of that day, which is the rebirth, day 25. The next day will be forgiveness when I do that one. So anybody that wants to comment, that's able to comment, feel free. Just so you know, being that it is a new year and I'm turning over kind of a new leaf, if you will, I guess. I don't even understand what that saying means, but there are more people blocked at this point. I am really looking for people that want to be in here who believe in honoring God and honoring each other. If you find joy in certain things that are dishonoring to God, then you're probably blocked. That's just how it's going to be. That makes me very exclusive, and I'm okay with that because I really want my room to be made up of certain types of people. Yes, I'm a bit of an idealist, and yes, I am very exclusive at times. And this is one of those times where I just really want the people that are in here to be God honoring folk that are not purposely, blatantly doing things that are against God. So if that's you, then you're obviously able to get in here. And if you're new and I haven't met you yet and seen your character, then you're probably able to get in here. But anybody else who I've seen your character and it is against God, you are blocked. Doesn't mean I won't talk to you offline or out of my room. But as for who's going to be in the room, those are the people that will be in here. Okay, so anyhow, that doesn't mean you have to be of any certain persuasion either. You don't have to be a quote unquote Christian or Messianic or Word of Faith or Baptist or Methodist that's not what I mean. I've seen so much garbage on here lately that just is so offensive to me. Dr. Phil used to say it offends his sensibilities. Yeah, it offends my sensibilities. It grieves my spirit. I believe it grieves God. And those type of people, they can have their room. I will do my room, and ne'er the twain shall meet again. So just so you know, that's how it's going to be. It will probably eliminate a lot of people from my chat room. But the people that are in here will want to be in here and want to be understanding that there is a higher morality and a higher level of life to live by. Oh, I am too, Inga. I know that doesn't make people happy and they don't get it. Worldly folk don't understand why I'm against things that they do. Pick up the Bible and read it and you'll find out. That's all I can tell you. That's just how it is. So whether I stay in the true crime area or not, whether this eventually brings in more people that are like-minded or people that are looking for more of a wholesomeness in life, which is my prayer and my hope, then that will be wonderful. But if not, and I end up staying in the true crime community, I will be the one sore thumb that sticks out. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Anyhow, so that being said, does anybody have any takeaways, comments, questions, anything that I can help you with? I'm about ready to upload another Plotagon little cartoony scene here. Let me know what you think of these little cartoon things that I do. Give me some ideas for plots or schemes or themes or whatever that you want to see on Plotagon. I'll work on that. I do need to charge my phone, though, because it's about dying. Just a second. Okay, I just needed to get this ready to upload because I found out that if I just upload it right away and then tweak it later, that works better. Otherwise, it freezes and it doesn't work well. Love the part about connecting to the feeling of lost love and seeing you no longer feel that way. Yeah, obviously, that's a good thing to realize because when you're in the midst of a breakup of any kind, your heart is hurting and you feel like you're never going to breathe again sometimes, like that was the be all and end all of everything you were, especially if you put a lot of yourself into that relationship and you feel like you've lost a part of yourself and then you feel like all is lost. But yeah, if you look down the line as time goes on, you realize looking back, man, what just happened? I mean, I'm over it. I'm fine and I survived it and now I have this new relationship. Or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just yourself and you're okay and at peace with yourself. That's a good thing too. You're right, Inga. You're right. That's exactly it. It amazes me when I look at my analytics how many people from other countries actually have seen my narcissism videos because not to be like biased or anything, but certain countries there is definitely a lot more narcissism than probably in the US. And it seems to be like a way of life. So it amazes me that they're watching me right now and in the future. And they get some kind of value out of what I'm saying. I mean, sadly, a lot of narcissists are probably using what I teach and using it against people. Unfortunately, that's kind of unavoidable. But the other people that have been the victims and are being abused or were abused by narcissists are finding value in it. Oh, wow, Inga. Yeah, that's a bad spot to be in. I remember when I was back in kind of the dating game, so to speak, between marriages, and this one guy constantly hitting me up for money. And my daughter, Amber, was like, Mom, stop lending him money. But there was something persuasive about this guy. It turned out he wasn't a good character at all. He had a lot of felony records and stuff, and I didn't know it. And yeah, he was bad news, but he would always say, I just need to borrow money for gas, or I'll pay you back tomorrow. And I bought it like hook, line, and sinker 3 times. Was kicking myself like crazy. And it never became a relationship. He kind of used that as the promise. Well, you help me out, and I'm looking for a girlfriend too, and you're looking for a boyfriend, and we could be a couple, but I'm down on my luck right now, and I blew my money the other day. I went to the boat, which is like a gambling thing, if you guys don't know what the boat is. And I gave in every time. And I don't want to be so prideful as to say, if I met somebody like that, like if I wasn't married right now and I met somebody, that I wouldn't be a soft heart and give to them, because that's me. I'm a sucker every time for a sob story. So I don't want to say that I'm better than that. I'd like to think I have more scruples now to say, look, dude, you're not going to keep using me. But I can't guarantee you that. Probably good that I'm in a marriage and I'm safe from even having to make those choices, honestly. My daughter even now is like, Mom, I warned you about this and I warned you about that. You didn't listen to me. You thought because I was a kid, I didn't know anything. And yeah, that's true. When I left my ex-husband, I lived in a shelter, and my daughter Amber, although she was like 10, 11, 12 years old, she probably had more sense than I did in the decisions I made, to be honest with you. And I'm able to admit that because I know that I just wasn't in a good place in my thoughts and my choice making at all back then. So, yeah. Anywho, I don't know. I don't go live very often anymore, just once or twice a week, except while I'm doing this book. So if you do want to talk to me and you're here, now is the time to say whatever you want to say, ask whatever you want to ask, give your input, whatever. Because after this, I will probably see you on Wednesday, most likely. I have to work, I think Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Or is it Monday, Thursday, Friday? Do you remember? Thursday, Friday. Oh, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so yeah, probably Wednesday. You'll see me live at night in the evening, just for a chit-chat session. I might work on my painting or puzzle or something. I don't know, whatever. Because I do enjoy going live, but I don't enjoy being, drawn into things I ought not to be part of. So I'm trying to pull myself away from a lot of that stuff, because I really do believe, and my like-minded friends believe, that we are called to be separate. We are called the called out ones, is literally what the Bible calls it. So we're not supposed to be messed up in all that stuff that's against God. And I'm not going to be anymore, as much as I possibly can manage it. I'm just going to do my room once or twice a week, my live streaming, and I'll do some uploads. And yeah, that'll pretty much be it, unless somebody invites me to go on a panel with them. And it's a room that I know a bunch of garbage riffraff isn't going to happen, because I'm not down with that stuff anymore. I'm not okay with it. I'm not excusing it anymore. Anywho. So what else y'all want to talk about, or whatever the discussion may fall into here? I'll probably go and work out a little bit today, do some exercises. I've been doing really well with my fitness plan. which is basically Betty Rocker exercises that I just look up on YouTube and do them because I can't afford her paid program, but she definitely uploaded some on YouTube. So I've been doing that. Cleaning up my phone, deleting some pictures on the camera, doing a couple plotagons today, those little cartoon things I do. That's about it, y'all. So I guess that's it for me. Okay. Nobody's really in a talkative mood as usual, and that's okay. So again, the name of the book is How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days. I'm trying to figure out what I did with the book. And it is by Howard Bronson and Mike Riley if you want to get a copy of the book. Oh, you haven't heard from him since then you realized he was a user. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Now you're free. Sorry. I'm just trying to grab the stuff off the floor. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're free. Thank you, everybody, for coming and participating if you have, or just observing if you have, whatever. Your presence means a lot. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a blessed weekend. And I will see you on Wednesday. Shalom. Shabbat shalom.